Graduates, fellow faculty, families, friends, this is one of those juicy moments on life's journey when we get to pause, reflect, and celebrate. I do have some prepared remarks, but first, there are some things I'd simply like to share with you. I've worked with many master's and PhD students over the years, and working with them has truly been an honor. It was an honor to advise a Colombian student who had a dream to study here and has since returned to her university to teach and research in early childhood education. It is an honor to work with a young woman from Saudi Arabia and with other students from the Philippines, Korea, China, Turkey, Brazil, who will go back to build capacity for early education in their countries. With a young woman from Georgia getting a PhD here today who will return to teach in her home state. With a young man from Appalachia, the first protege of our first Spanish-speaking PhD graduate. With bright, really bright, graduate students from all over Nebraska and elsewhere, often the first in their families to obtain an advanced degree. For me to participate in this development of students of the early childhood field in the US and throughout the world is truly an enormous honor. So in that vein, I honor all of you, graduates, and your mentors here today. Now for my prepared remarks. One of my favorite authors is Joseph Campbell, who wrote about the hero's journey, whether to slay a dragon, visit a new land far away, cross many seas, climb mountains, or as on a personal inward or outward journey. So in Campbell's framework, and in mine today, think of yourself as on a graduate school journey. For the next 5 to 7 minutes, let's think of this journey as having 3 components: the past, the present, and the future, each with a couple of themes. Graduates, the past. Looking back on your graduate experience, let's take a moment to claim the perhaps sometimes difficult, often exhilarating, sometimes frustrating, and if nothing else, steady path that you have been on. There's value in your claiming what's occurred on this path, and for your family and friends to know what you've been through. I hope you will share with them some of the really great stories, perhaps today, of your graduate experience. Okay, themes about the graduate school past: growth, gratitude, lineage, growth. If you have changed, some or a lot, it's because this experience is supposed to be transformative. Perhaps you arrived bright, but impulsive, or interested in many questions, but then you immersed yourself in the work. In my case, reading at the stacks at the University of California, Davis, the original works of Jean Piaget, and then at Iowa State, the works of Mary Ainsworth, lost in thought about what it meant to construct intelligence as a young child does, or attachment, and then pursuing my own questions. And you too have emerged grounded in your knowledge, with expertise in your area, and eager to impart what you know. So let's reflect on who helped you. Gratitude. For you to get where you are today, many have invested in you, your families, friends, professors, deans, department chairs. We have families and friends here from all over the world today, or perhaps it was too far or too expensive, but they're here in spirit. Thank them for their investment in you. And now lineage. All of us as scientists stand on the shoulders of others. I recently had the chance to visit the Galapagos and read and reflect on the work of Charles Darwin, who of course crystallized his discoveries about evolution there. He begins his On the Origins of the Species by acknowledging the work that preceded his. Whose shoulders are you standing on? And I wonder what you'll take from this Nebraska experience. What of the University of Nebraska DNA, referenced a few weeks ago by Ronnie Green at his investiture, will you impart to the generations of scientists, artists, or professionals who really will learn from your lineage? But now, here we are in this present moment on this metaphorical mountaintop, wearing course, our traditional metaphorical mountaintop garb, in this magical moment of graduation. Congratulations. What an accomplishment for each of you. This is a tremendous moment and truly a mountaintop event. I'm sure many of you have had actual mountaintop experiences. I went on an Outward Bound inspired backpacking trip years ago in the Rockies, and it was really hard carrying a backpack at 12,000 feet. But we reached our destination for this overnight camp. And around the campfire, maybe some of you have done this, we read a verse somebody pulled out of their pack about the mountain as metaphor. And later in my life, when things were difficult, and those moments do come, the mountain, I'd go back to having gotten to our destination on that mountain. The mountain as metaphor, and the image of reaching the top as transformational. So let us claim your present mountaintop moment right here and truly celebrate this graduation. But soon, or maybe already, you'll be ready to embark on the next phase of your journey, the future. Consider these two themes as we think about the future: unique you and impact. First, I quote Steve Jobs. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. So then, be who you authentically are and give what only you have to contribute as your authentic contribution. The journey forward will not always be easy, but don't give up. Think about what kind of world you are creating to live into for your children and your children's children. There are many important matters related to food insufficiency, environmental quality, child stunting, to name only a few, that will require our deepest science linked to the greatest potential impact. The flip side of this, though, is that those of us in this room are really lucky because our science and art can land in these and other high leverage, high impact, grand challenge areas. I've known former students who've been reluctant and agonizing about publishing their early studies because the study may not have been absolutely perfect. And I would say this: yes, perfect your work as much as possible, but then get your contributions into the mix. It takes some courage to power our contributions, to believe what we have to contribute really matters, but it does. Just a brief moment on courage. When I think of courage, of course, Mahatma Gandhi, Dietrich Bonhoeffer, Mother Teresa, Rosa Parks, Abraham Lincoln, and for me, Helen Raikes come to mind. You can certainly say these men and women were courageous heroes, but so are you, as the hero in your own personal journey. Finally, here's a quote that tends to sum up my thoughts about your unique and potential impact and the next phase of your journey. It's from George Saunders, who's a kind of semi-well-known author of the new acclaimed historical novel, Lincoln in the Bardo. Do those things that incline you toward the big questions. Avoid the things that would reduce you and make you trivial. That luminous part of you that exists beyond personality, your soul, if you will, is as bright and shining as any that has ever been. Bright as Shakespeare's, bright as Gandhi's, bright as Mother Teresa's. Clear away everything that keeps you separate from this secret luminous place. Believe it exists. Come to know it better. Nurture it. Share its fruits tirelessly. Now, as I close, I turn to each of you. To my university colleagues, you've done good work with these scholars. May this moment further inspire you in your important mentoring. To family and friends, your student's journey has begun because of your seeding. May this moment fold back to you as you claim your role in launching these fine scholars. And graduates, today's your day. This is your mountaintop day. but then you're on your way as the hero in your own authentic journey. Thank you.